My son got kicked out of the courtroom for what he said to the judge, and I couldn't be more proud of him. Noah was 16 when his mother died. A drunk driver ran a red light at 70 miles per hour and hit her car on the passenger side. She died instantly. The driver walked away with a broken arm. That was 3 years ago. The trial kept getting delayed because the defendant's lawyer filed motion after motion. Each delay felt like another punch to the gut. But finally, we got our day in court. The defendant's name was Richard Morrison, mid-40s, owned a successful contracting business, had a wife and 2 teenage daughters. His lawyer made sure everyone knew about his family, his community involvement, his church donations. They painted him as a good man who made one terrible mistake. During the trial, I watched Morrison sit there in his expensive suit. No emotion, no remorse. When the prosecutor showed photos of the crash scene, he looked bored. When they played the 911 call, he checked his watch. The worst part was during victim impact statements. My sister spoke about how her kids lost their favorite aunt. Noah's grandmother talked about burying her only daughter. Morrison just stared at the table. Once. I swear I saw him smirk when my mother-in-law broke down crying. His lawyer kept objecting, saying the statements were too emotional and prejudicial. The judge allowed them, but you could tell she was getting tired of the theatrics from both sides. Then it was Noah's turn. He'd been silent through the entire trial. Hadn't cried once in 3 years, at least not in front of me. He'd thrown himself into school, graduated early, gotten into engineering programs at 3 universities. Everyone said he was handling it well. Too well, maybe. He stood up and walked to the podium. He was wearing the suit we'd bought for his mother's funeral. It fit him better now. The courtroom went completely silent. Even Morrison's lawyer stopped shuffling papers. Noah placed a single sheet of paper on the podium but didn't look at it. He stared directly at Morrison. The judge leaned forward. "You may begin whenever you're ready." Noah took a breath. "Mr. Morrison, I forgive you." I felt my heart stop. What was he doing? Morrison's face relaxed. His lawyer actually smiled and nodded like they'd just won the case. I heard someone behind me whisper angrily about how could he just forgive him like that. Then Noah continued, his voice steady and clear. "I forgive you because my mom would have wanted that. She believed in second chances. She believed people could change." He paused. "But forgiveness doesn't mean no consequences. Forgiveness doesn't mean what you did was okay." Morrison's smile faded. Noah turned to the judge. "Your Honor, I've done a lot of research over the past 3 years. I've read every case file I could access. I've studied sentencing guidelines. I've watched dozens of trials." He pulled out his phone and held it up. "I have spreadsheets. This man has 3 prior DUIs. 3. He killed my mother while driving on a suspended license. His blood alcohol was twice the legal limit at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday." The prosecutor was nodding. Morrison's lawyer stood up to object, but the judge waved him down. His lawyer argued he deserves leniency because he has a family that depends on him, because he's a respected member of the community, because one mistake shouldn't define his entire life. Noah's voice got quieter. "Your Honor, my mom had a family too. I'm her family, and I did more research. Defendants who show genuine remorse typically receive lighter sentences. The court considers their acceptance of responsibility." He turned back to Morrison, who was staring at the table again. "Mr. Morrison, you've sat through 3 days of testimony. You've heard what you took from us. You've seen the photos. You've heard the 911 call where my mom was pronounced dead at the scene." Noah's voice didn't shake once. "So I have one question for you, and I'd like you to answer honestly." The whole courtroom leaned forward. "If our roles were reversed, and I had killed your wife while driving drunk with a suspended license, would you forgive me?" Morrison went pale. His mouth opened, but nothing came out. His lawyer grabbed his arm and whispered urgently in his ear, but Morrison just sat there frozen. 10 seconds of silence. 20, 30. Noah said quietly, "Your silence is your answer, sir." "Bailiff!" The judge's voice cracked like a whip. "Remove this young man from my courtroom immediately. You do not address the defendant directly. That's contempt." 2 bailiffs moved toward Noah. He picked up his paper and walked out with him, head high. The judge turned to Morrison. Her expression completely changed. "Sentencing is in 2 weeks. I'll be reviewing those case files Mr. Brooks mentioned. Morrison got the maximum, 15 years.